Open Office Writer, Formatting Paragraphs. You can align text and paragraphs in 4 different ways. To illustrate this, I'm going to highlight these 2 paragraphs. And let's have a look at the different alignment options. Firstly, there's left align. And you will see that everything is aligned to the left on your screen. Then there's the center option, so let's select center. And you'll see that everything is centered on your screen now. The third option is to right align your text, and you'll notice that everything is now aligned to the right of your screen. The last one is justified. To justify your text, select justified from your toolbar, and you'll now notice that it's aligned both to the left and to the right. And this kind of layout is quite often used in newspapers. I'm going to change it back to left aligned. Line spacing will determine the amount of white open space that you have in between the lines on your screen. To set your line spacing, highlight the section where you would like to apply the line spacing. I'm going to highlight the first paragraph and then select Format, Paragraph, select the Indents and Spacing tab, and then look for the line spacing section. I'm going to change my line spacing to double. Then select OK. You'll now see that you have double line spacing in between each one of the lines in your paragraph. Also note that this can be changed on your Properties pane or sidebar on the right-hand side of your screen. We're now going to look at paragraph spacing. To illustrate this, I'm going to activate my non-printing characters. So let's activate non-printing characters. And as you can see, wherever you press enter, this little pill crow will appear. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to highlight all the paragraphs, and I'm going to change the amount of white space that will be left open after each one of the paragraphs. So to do this, highlight your paragraphs, then select Format, select Paragraph, and then have a look for spacing. So here we've got the option above paragraph and below paragraph. I'm going to change the amount of white space below each paragraph, and I'm going to make it quite big so you can actually see what it looks like, and then select OK. Right, so you'll now notice after each one of your enters or end of paragraph markers, there will be some extra white space. And what should happen here is that you shouldn't have to press the enter key twice to actually create that white space between your different paragraphs. Okay, so you should actually only press enter once to create a separate paragraph. Let's change the paragraph spacing for this first 2 lines here. So I want to create more space in between these 2 lines. So I'm just going to select Format again, select Paragraph, and I'm going to make my spacing even more so you can actually see what it looks like. And I'm going to select OK. There we go, and there's your extra white space that you've just created. We're now going to look at indentation, and to do this I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to use this paragraph. Right, so what we're going to do now is firstly we're going to use the ruler to indent our paragraph. So if we have a look at the ruler section up here, we've got some commands that you can use here. So if I move the first little triangle at the top, that's going to indent the first line of the paragraph. Okay, I'm just going to move that back. And then your second indentation marker over here, if you move that, it's going to indent the entire paragraph for you. So that's your left indentation. On the right hand side, you also have a marker that you can move. So I'm going to select that and just move it up a bit. So now I'm indenting from the right hand side. Let's just move that back again. Once again, these settings can also be accessed via the Format menu option. then select paragraph, and here where you've got your indent section, you can go and change your indentations. If before text would be your left indentation, so I'm just going to change that. You'll actually see the changes appear in this preview box. So I'm just going to indent a little bit more so you can see it. After text, that's your right indentation. Okay, and you can see how it indents from the right hand side now. And then first line would obviously indent your first line. So there's your first line indentation. I'm just going to select OK so you can see what it looks like on screen. There we go, there's all your indentation done. Also note that you can change these settings on your sidebar. I'm just going to make this wider so you can see it. Okay, so here's all your spacing as well as your indentation that you can change on your sidebar as well. We're now going to add a border to the current paragraph. So the first step would be to highlight the paragraph, and then I'm going to select Format, Paragraph, and I'm going to go to my Borders tab. Here I'm just going to select a default border, set all 4 borders, and I'm going to make the border slightly thicker so you can see it nicely. You can change the color if you want to, and then to set your border just select OK. So there's my paragraph border. You can also fill your paragraph now or set a background color, and to do this select Format again, select Paragraph, then go to the Background tab, and I'm just going to select a yellow background fill and then select OK, and that will fill the entire background of the paragraph that you've selected. Once again, take note that you can also change these settings on the sidebar on the right hand side of your screen. And that concludes our lesson on OpenOffice Writer, formatting paragraphs.